Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass and Move. And for today's episode in the Lively Liverpool series, we've got a game against Arsenal as promised. First game of September and in the first September as well. So not much has happened. Like we mentioned, we already played against Tottenham since the last episode. If you did miss the last episode, it was the one against Manchester City where we managed to beat the champions 2-0 in the very first game of the season away from home as well. So it's a very decent result. But unfortunately for us, as you can see here as well, the game against Tottenham didn't go too well. A decent draw, but not preferable considering that we were at home, and I think we played fairly well. Our defence and some of our midfielders held up well, but the rest of them underperformed. Lacazette in particular, with a 6.4 rating towards the end of the game, couldn't help us try and grab a goal to beat a Tottenham side that rarely really threatened us in that game. But we move on, play Arsenal today, and that's an entirely big game of itself. We're facing a former manager of Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, and they ended last season in 7th, so we're hoping to continue Arsenal's decline here and hope that we can put them in some serious trouble, I suppose. But anyways, it's just, if we get through these 3 fixtures with some decent results, that'll be okay. We're away from home again, so it's going to be a bit tough, or a bit tougher than usual, I suppose. And let's hope we can get a nice little result here. Champions League and the League Cup have been drawn. So yeah, the Champions League group is Juventus, Sevilla and Prague, Sparta Prague. It's going to be a bit of a difficult group. I think we can, we should be the ones to go through alongside Juventus, but Sevilla will definitely, be some tough opposition. Sheffield Wednesday are the team we're playing in the League Cup and Championship side, so really we should be going through. But like we mentioned, no need to show you the League Cup until we reach the final. The Champions League until the quarterfinals, of course. But anyways, today's all about Arsenal, so we can get into that a little bit, see who we're going to be selecting. I think we're going to have to make a couple of changes. Mane is injured, so I wanted him to play instead of Ryan Kent, who kind of struggled in the last match. But hopefully, if he can put in the same performance as he did against City, then we'll be alright. Lallana picking up a tiny bit of an injury as well, out for 9 days to 3 weeks. Mane also out for 10 days to 3 weeks. Not huge injuries, but they are going to be misses for sure nonetheless. So put Henderson on the bench, Divock Origi on the bench as well to come in for Lacazette this time. Unfortunately, against Tottenham, Origi wasn't fit yet. He was still injured, and so I couldn't replace Lacazette with Origi, to hopefully try and grab a goal that time around. Maybe we can do it this time. Let's see. Hopefully, Lacazette won't even need it. But yeah, I think that's kind of it. I feel like I'm missing something. The transfer window should have finished the last time around. I think there's been a couple of more players loaned out, but no one significant. Everyone just going. Simon, like we mentioned, left to Juventus, Ward to Burton, so we got a couple of wages off our budget. Even though we've put in all our money into the wage budget of a 5 million wage budget, we've still got 98 million in transfer budget, and that's how well we've managed our finances, so it's good to see. In the balance, we've got 241, and we're expected to pass FFP this time around. I think the last episode it was in the red. So like I mentioned, I thought we'd be safe, and we are, as you can tell. Debts and loans. Gift loans only repayable after the chairman leaves, so that's a different thing entirely. The bank loan though, we've only got, well, I say only, but we've got 157 million left to pay. And we only pay 420k anyways per month, so it's not too much damage. Projections I think would read well, overall balance as well as transfer budget, so we should be okay. I think we can go ahead and just kick off to this game and try and put an early dent into Arsenal's hopes of, I'm assuming, Champions League football. But yeah, I mean, they're going with a very attacking formation, 4-2-3-1 themselves. Got some decent players here. In terms of ourselves, we've got Horn in goal as always. Klein, Matip, Barter and Alex make up the back line. Keita and Emre Can are going to be the ones who are playing. Salah, Fornells, Lacazette and Kent are going to be our front four. So a mix of experience and youth, and I think you can say the same about Arsenal, and you'd wonder who will outperform the other. Goretzka was a player who's on our radar. In truth, I was considering bringing him in as an attacking midfielder, a shadow striker. Unfortunately for us, or unfortunately for him, he's susceptible to injuries, so I considered not going in for him, even though he's got, you know, he's a youngster with plenty of potential. He's already a leading player for most Premier League sides. It just didn't make any sense, and I would expect him to be out for Arsenal quite frequently unless they can manage his fitness issues. Anyways, go into the dressing room. We can give a quick team talk. I'm going to just change Fornals into a shadow striker. We did bring him in for that role, and he's got the attributes for it, and apparently he's comfortable enough with it. I think for some reason his suitability says that he's competent, but when I did decide to buy him, I had the role suitability as partial, and you know, Pablo showed up. So I think maybe the circle business is a bit overrated or underrated, I don't know what you want to call it, but either way, we'll just do that change, and I think we're ready to go. So we can go ahead and kick off. Just a quick little team talk. Let's see what we can tell to try and get a win out of Liverpool here. I think we can go with the media one, like that, and we can go ahead and kick off, I think, finally. So, going to be a tough one without a doubt. We're away from home, like I mentioned, so we will have to step up our performances. I think Arsenal are going to be expecting a team playing on a bit of the defensive side, but obviously that's not our natural instinct, so I hope we can take the game to them and exploit them. And they themselves are going to be attacking because obviously they're at home, and as you can see, they're playing with the right formation for it. I think the way they're playing so far, they are not messing about. Having said that, we've won the ball back fairly well through Matip. Barter's on the ball for us as well now, and Chan, the ball-winning midfielder, can try and set youngster Ken away. It does well to find Pablo, who goes to Lacazette instantly. Can the former Arsenal man punish his former team? Not with shots like those, of course, but let's see if we can get some better ones there. Early stages, though, suggest that it's relatively equal. Possession-wise as well, Arsenal, I think, edging it just about. Look, these fans here look like they're seats and not actual fans. Is this? Okay, they're moving. There you go. I actually thought it was a seat for a second. Just proper red. Salah with an excellent control there. Finds Chan well, and he goes back to Salah. What can the Egyptian do here? Oh, really good through ball to Pablo. Goes to Lacazette. Can he finish? Oh, I think that's definitely a clear-cut chance if you ask me. Lacazette continuing his form from the last match where he underperformed against Tottenham. I'm hoping not to see a repeat of that. Hopefully that's a one-off shot there. Anyways, Keita, the new signing, to Pablo, another new signing, and Kent, who's a newcomer as well. So we've got plenty of new faces in this side, and they should be good enough to take on Arsenal. Pablo goes to Salah out wide, goes back to Pablo. Great movement from the players, and a bit of a wild swing from Pablo there. I was hoping he'd found Lacazette again, but this time he decided to be a bit selfish and take the shot on himself. The highlight continues though. So are we going to get another opportunity to try and put the ball into Arsenal's net? Salah's through here. Can he find someone in the box? Players are there for him. Chan. And there you go. Ball-winning midfield of all people. I think replay should still be on. Alright, great. So I just want to see, because I think Lacazette was in the box as well, but Chan kind of stole his goal. This is what I love about the ball-winning midfielder role on support. They're very comfortable getting forward, supporting the counter-attacks, as it mentions in their role description. And I like how they play quite a lot. But yeah, Salah had a couple of options here. If I just pause it, there's Chan. Who's that here? Pablo. Okay, so where's Lacazette? Is he the one who played through? So he's still running back into the boxes in here. But really good take from Emirates Chan. You'd expect Pablo as a shadow striker to be the one who's getting that chance, but well, Chan is playing for his Liverpool career this season, because if he doesn't improve into a leading player for most Premier League sides, we're going to be moving him on and looking to bring in a better youngster with potential than Chan is, because he hasn't developed, I suppose, as much as I would expect him to be. It will be, though, trying to put Arsenal right back into the game. Thankfully, Horn deals with the cross because it was coming dangerously in for Campbell. They're actually playing Campbell. That's a bit of a surprise. I think he's only considered a decent Premier League player in the game in FM18. But anyways, it will be on the ball for Arsenal. They'll be hoping he can do something. Certainly not that. Klein, though, loses out to Goretzka, and let's see if he can prove us wrong for not trying to approach him. And he's actually could have signed him for free too, in truth. but I'm really not a fan of the players who are susceptible to injuries. I just try and avoid signing no matter what. Immobile though, and that's exactly why you have a sweeper keeper. Horan comes out really quickly to close the angle, and Immobile can't do anything other than really shoot at him. That's Arsenal's first clear-cut chance of the game with their first shot. So they are very much still in the game. We have to be careful, be alive to everything. And so far, we're not really doing too well of a job at this moment. Immobile, thankfully, it goes past him. And if we can get someone, Klein wins the ball well. Tries to set Salah on the way, and this is our chance to counter. But unless he's got anyone with him, he's going to have to do this himself. Koscielny just takes him out. And looks like Koscielny is in trouble. Alex though. Left back spot, I think like we mentioned in the last episode, is another area we do have to be concerned with a bit and keep an eye out on this season. I think also centre backs in terms of our backup, Matip and Barter are supposed to be considered, okay, well, supposed to be considered first teamers, but not with that type of ball. Matip lets Immobile through, no one really covered him, and we've stupidly let Arsenal back into the game with some silly play. And there you go, as it mentions here, Joel Matip's poor pass led to the goal. And that's as bad as it gets for central defender. Not sure why he tries to find Klein there. I mean, Keita's a DLP. He's playing on the left when he's supposed to be on the right for some reason. He's man-marked, I suppose. Chan not really there. Pablo trying to drop deep for it. So Matip tries a risky pass to Klein when he could have just lobbed it forward. Pablo very deep for an attacking midfielder, if you ask me. But either way, just everything falls in Arsenal's favour, and fair enough for them finishing it. There were warning signs before, and Matip doing everything in his power to prove that he shouldn't be a first team centre back ahead of our new signing Wallace, well, last season's new signing Wallace. But anyways, let's see if we can score from this set piece. Kent with the delivery, Pablo's trying to get under it, Salah from outside the box, so can he finish it? Quite easy for Predrag Rajkovic to clean up, and I wonder where their goalkeeper went. Immobile though, heads down well to Iwobi. And now Arsenal looking dangerous again. We're not doing well with them through balls all around. Great movement, and Goretzka can finish that. And if you ask me, that's quite disappointing. That's a bad goal to concede. You could even argue worse than the first goal, sorry. Because that one, just a lob forward from the goalkeeper, heads it down. And suddenly we're just open and all over the place. I'm not liking this one bit. I mean, look, he could have played it to anyone. He's got a couple of options here. 1, 2, this guy's running through as well. This guy too. And you've got 4 defenders here who are just in an absolute state. Now, central defender choosing it. That's just a really good take from Goretzka, to be fair to him. But quickly, very quickly, we're seeing that we're not doing too good with through balls. So I'm just going to play 2 DMs instead of 2 centre mids. I think, like I mentioned, Arsenal are being quite attacking, quite adventurous, as you'd expect them to be at home. So maybe trying to hit them on the counter might do us a bit better, since it worked earlier in the game as well. So anyways, can we hit back? Keita to Chan. Lacazette dropping deep for it, good to see. Can he play the through ball through though? Kent's the one who's on the receiving end. Can he deliver into the box? Need just one good ball. A bunch of players in the box, that's not good enough. Koscielny though, Lacazette's free, and that's some stunning goalkeeping. And you'd argue that that is, actually you'd be right in arguing that that is worse than what our goalkeeper did, which completely flopped. Whether that is, I think it looks worse in 3D than it actually is played out. But either way, that just looked ridiculous, and Kent with a poor delivery ends up working in his favour. Salah thankfully on the outside of the box to receive the ball. Actually, I was trying, sorry. Lacazette though, all the time in the world to finish against his former employers, and he'll definitely be keen to prove them wrong and well, fight back really. So I think we seem to be doing a hint better with 2 DMs. Having said that, Arsenal with a set piece, so it's not over yet. Kovlenko finds Koscielny really well. Back to Kovlenko. We need to deal with this threat before the cross. And when a centre-back scores against you, that kind of explains the way your team defends. Too easy. You're playing on closing down more, and yet we can't seem to put a decent defence together. 5 goals in the span of 30 minutes. This game is as open as it can be. Too easy. Kovlenko to Koscielny, you can understand, and then back to him, you can't understand, and then back again to Koscielny, and he's free. Some silly defending there. Anyways, Arsenal leading once again. How will this crazy game end? Matip with a 6.0 rating, now 5.9. He's getting subbed off at halftime for sure if he doesn't step it up. Pablo though, nice little turn in, finds Lacazette through. Can the former Arsenal man finish again? Can he get brace? Not with that type of finish, but Lacazette tries again, and I think you wouldn't be wrong in saying that we've dominated this game slightly more than Arsenal have. Yet our finishing has let us down, and Arsenal find themselves ahead, probably going into half-time. Matip is completely falling apart here at a time that we don't need that to happen. And to come away with 2 losses away from home, not even away. Pablo though, nice little finish. Really good finish. The little touch there takes away from the Arsenal man. He can just tuck it into the corner. So we'll have a nice little look of it again, but nice little win by Emirates. That's what you want to see a ball-winning midfielder do. Lacazette again finding men through. Good overlapping run from Pablo, but yeah, that touch just takes him away from the Arsenal defender. He can tuck it away. And thankfully, we're on to head into half-time with just a draw. And considering our defensive woes, I think that's not too bad. Having said that, a couple of players are going to need to be told off. We weren't necessarily favourites. Let's go with a passionate team talk. Actually, let's keep it calm. We've been a better team. I just want to take off Joe Matip. Anyone who's performing under than a 6.0 rating for your team is definitely not going to improve after the break. So Gomez is normally ball playing defender, but I'm going to play him as a central defender instead, because Matip has let us down hugely, begging to be sold in truth, and maybe we have to consider making some changes to our team in the January transfer window, because some players are already making me regret keeping the faith in them. Klein though, Keita, maybe playing a 4-4-1-1 would help us take advantage of these spaces in midfield, with an attacking midfielder already taking advantage of no defensive midfielder from Arsenal. Keita with the ball out wide, and it's not good enough, but thankfully Klein's there to clean it up, and Keita can make amends again if he's smart with the ball. Klein. Arsenal trying to shut us down from the front. Kolasinac is... oh my god, I can't even say his name. Either way, Immobile is trying to lead it for Arsenal. It will be there to receive, and Goretzka, the danger man already, can find Kovlenko again. Immobile through. This is as poor as it comes to defending as possible. Goretzka from outside the box. Can't seem to deal with through balls. We're worse at it now than we were when we actually played with a higher line. And I'm actually going to consider going with a 4-4-1-1 and see if that helps us a hint more. Let's go back to Shadow Striker, please. And there you go. I think playing a deeper wingers will help us in midfield, but also help us with more overlapping runs. Having said that, there's not too many highlights or stats since I made that change. Kent. We don't have money in the bench for him. Keita. I think maybe we can keep it as is. Let's just go into attacking. Alright, there you go. I think that's helped a hint more. But there's no point having a million shots and then you're not creating anything of use. Alright, so I just want to have a quick look. This guy... oh, I can't even select the players, can I? Kovlenko. He seems to be an incredible player from Shakhtar. Advanced playmaker. He's been doing quite well, to be honest. But who's this goalkeeper? Sounds so familiar. I'm just trying to figure him out. For some reason I can't select him. I can only select certain players here, which is as unusual as it could possibly be. If I could just pause this game temporarily to just find this guy out. Okay, because I think I'm pretty sure I've signed this guy before. He's a very good backup goalkeeper to have a youngster potential. They're paying him a huge amount of money and he's a key player too. Yeah, there you go. He's the one. I always sign him. He's an incredible goalkeeper. If you're ever looking for a youngster with potential, sign this guy and give him as much game time in the cup competitions. Arsenal have just signed him. So it looks like, you know, he must have had one hell of a season. Like it shows here, 7.55 rating for a goalkeeper is really good. And they've thrown him straight into the first team. Wonder what they've done with Peter Cech. But anyways, 70 minutes, so I think we can start to look to make some changes. Kent not having the best of games, so even though Mane's not on the bench for him. I think we can just force Chamberlain out wide there. See if we can squeeze out a better performance. Keita can come off for Jorginho as well. I think those are the only real changes we should be making. Question is, can we squeeze one more goal out against this stubborn Arsenal side who refuse to go down, really? Alright. A bit risky now, but 10 minutes left to go. Wow, that's like right after the highlight, right after the tactical change. This is the highlight, so let's hope that we win this. Welbeck though on the far post. Bit too close, a bit too close. I was hoping pushing up will make us a bit better, but Sonny seemed to have made us worse, and Arsenal with another set piece, already regretting changing from a 4-4-1-1. Having said that, we're on the ball again, and Salah can try and hit Arsenal on the counter attack. Klein going forward, Gomez for some reason trying to be a right back at the moment. Get back in your position, please. And Klein needs to deliver one good ball. And not like that though. Too many players forward now, and Arsenal can try and counter our counter. If we can win the ball back though, which Barter does. Lacazette dropping deep. Salah there. We're really, you know, I think Arsenal are overloading, which is why we're really quite forward. Oh no, they're going to hit us again. It's just counter to counter to counter. And it's whoever holds the ball up better, and that's exactly what Mobley has done. Welbeck through again on us. Timo Horn comes out for it and eventually makes the right decision, but this is a bit worrying and a bit too not liking that, so I want to try and hit them on the counter instead. So I think if we go back to the 4-4-1-1, we might see a better result. I didn't think Arsenal would come out for the fourth goal, but it looks like they've gone more attacking. So maybe playing the 4-4-1-1 might see us do a little bit better. A draw is probably fair in truth though, but didn't want to get a draw, and it looks like I might not even get that. Bellerin delivers into the box. Kovalenko on the ball for his team again. If we can win it back and set ourselves out on the counter. Instead he's running past two players and delivers into box. Welbeck rises. Timo Horn though there. And maybe this highlight might still go in our favour. 3 clear-cut chances to Arsenal's 2. 7 half chances to their 5. This is as open-ended as it comes. And Lacazette is on the ball again. Is he going to punish Arsenal once more? Pablo's through. Can he take his men on? Instead, Mustafi clears it to Iwobi. And Arsenal are on the counter-attack again. This is as back and forward as possible. Welbeck's through. Can't shut him down, apparently. And he almost finished. This game's just incredible errors. And we're going to get another highlight before the match finishes. So it's not over yet. Chan clears it high, but Mustafi wins the ball. And Kolasinac, if that's even his name. Oh god. Oh, one hell of a tackle. It will be though. Our defenders have absolutely let down every single one of their teammates. Absolutely ridiculous defending today. So as bad as it gets, I don't think I've ever had such an open-ended game. I mean, that's as bad as it comes. One hell of a tackle. I mean, he's out of position, but he makes up for it. And I mean, Gomez not really, I think it kind of bounces off him a bit. And whoever's here, just not really following it will be enough. I think that's Klein as well. That's poor. Against Tottenham, our defenders stood up and our midfielders let us down, our attackers let us down. In this game, our attackers stood up and our defenders let us down. I think that's as clear a sign as ever that your team don't have good dynamics with each other. So disappointing. We've beat City, drew with Tottenham, and lost to Arsenal. Not the best way to start your 3 games, but we can move on and hopefully start to get some good results after these little run of tough fixtures. So we didn't tell them off at halftime. We'll tell them off now because that was very disappointing. The defenders ending with very poor ratings of the match. Hopefully we can see a better performance next time around, because this one today was as poor as it could have been. And yeah, I mean, no real excuses. We've created a bunch of chances. I think we didn't finish some chances that we could have, but you could say the same about Arsenal. And the only difference is they took their chances, and that's as disappointing as it comes. But yeah, good to see at least Lacazette on the score sheet. And we need him to continue a nice little run of form. So that's the end of the September fixtures. So we only show a fixture per month. Show the Arsenal because it's the most interesting one out of these games. As the more the season develops, the more we'll be looking out for certain matches. But yeah, definitely done with September, so you can expect not to see any of these matches up until Middlesbrough. Got Sparta Prague, which is interesting in the Champions League, but again, I'm not going to be showing you that until quarterfinals. So the only real games we can show you are Watford, Leeds or Brighton, and it depends by the time we reach the month of October which team will really be stepping it up. But I reckon, by the looks of it, at least in those early stages, we'll probably be back for the West Brom game, so that's going to be a huge one. Also, just to quickly show you the table, Bournemouth have continued since last season their incredible run of form, and so they're in first place at the moment. 3 games played, 6 points. We're 7th place, 4 points, but very early on, so we can still recover. But anyways, I think that will be all for today's episode. So if you did enjoy it, then of course please do hit the like button and subscribe for more Daily Football Manager 2018 content. And of course I'd love to hear your comments in the comments section below. And as always guys, once again, thank you all very much for watching.